What do you do locally in order to connect with other agents that might be able to give you agent-to-agent referrals so that you can not only grow your business, but also serve population that I personally believe is underserved?
It is, in fact, underserved and a lot of times taken advantage of. This is a business of relationships. So how do you get in touch with a great agent that speaks Spanish? NAREP, National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals. You connect with that organization that has members, realtors members, that they have the resources. So we do have a platform where you can literally say, hey, I'm looking for an agent in Chicago, Illinois that speaks Spanish and willing to participate or to collaborate with a referral fee. Now, from somebody out completely outside and they don't know about this organization, I would say it's extremely important that you know what your local organizations are. And if you're willing to serve or interested in serving, and join their event.
You're listening to the number one real estate podcast in the world, where we talk with real estate professionals all across North America about their wins, losses, lessons, and stories help you win in your local market today. My name is Cody from Sheridan Street. I'm joined with Vikram Deol of the Real Estate Sales Academy. Vikram, what's up, my man? What's happening? Last podcast of the day. We've been jamming. We've been jamming all day.
I'm like literally closet of a space here at a co-working spot in Bogota, and it is hot in here. Like I am sweating right now. But super pumped, man. Like it's been a great day, great week. We delivered a lot of good value to people that really need it right now. And it doesn't matter. Like the funny thing is like people are like, oh, I'm doing good. I'm doing okay. And it's like, do you want to live a life just doing good and doing okay? Don't you want to strive for something better in life? And so I love delivering stuff to, I love creating content and I love sharing what we've learned. But no, it's been a great week, man. And they're in Bogota, so we're gonna go check out your favorite restaurant. So you said Astoria Rooftop in Taro, I think. So we're gonna go grab down there. It's 4:00 here in the afternoon, and I've only had 1 cup of coffee and 3 bottles of water. So I'm ready to eat. What about you, brother?
Yeah, man. Just like overall, an amazing week. We did the lead and conversion challenge this week. 5 days packed of like real solid information around how to, get leads, how to attract them, how to convert them, how to say it. Overall, an amazing week. And this weekend, yeah, man, I'm just really looking forward to unplugging a bit. I think you're coming back to Bogota. You're coming back from Bogota to Medellin this weekend, and hopefully we get the opportunity to see Andrea's candle business. So I'm going to go visit her tonight. But
I was gonna say something and I forgot. Lucky you. What's a win of the week, man? Like what's a win for you this week? It's Friday, win of the week.
It is Friday. Give you a win. Just completing I would say that us reintroducing our setters again, and then just like refining our scripts. Like this entire week has been a lot about like owning the script and like me realizing that there are ways that I say things probably different than the way you say things. So it's like when you said own the script, I'm like, okay, I don't like say things exactly like that. And that's something we're going to start implementing with our setters more, where it's like, okay, here's the baseline of the script. What are the objections you're getting on a day in and day out basis when inflection and tone and cadence, and then like really building the script so that it aligns. Because even like the intro, like you have the intro of like, Cody Bay. That doesn't come natural to me.
I got rid of that.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah.
It works well in some industries.
Yeah.
And it worked really well when I had OsteoStrong.
Yeah.
So my clientele was older, so they were a little bit more chill, and they were a little hard of hearing because they were older. It worked really well there. But when I thought I told you that I got rid of it a long time ago. Anyways, when I started utilizing it with realtors, it just pissed them off. Like it creates so much resistance with them. Then I was like, this shit's got to go. So we got rid of it.
Interesting. Very interesting. Well, thanks for the heads up because I got rid of it as well.
Yeah, Yeah, I was talking with my coach in between the calls earlier today, and we were talking. Today's a group call, and so somebody asked him a question about like, how do I interject my personality into a script or into a conversation framework? And I always tell everybody, like, learn it the way that it's written, because if you don't understand the fundamentals, it's hard to interject who you are. And that's the challenge that a lot of agents have, a lot of salespeople have. And like when I coach my agents, coach my salespeople, coach my clients, it's like, before we get fun and before we get wild and before we let our personalities out there and everything, like, just utilize the process. The script is just a process, you guys. Like, let's stop thinking of this as like changing who you are, because fundamentally it's not going to change who you are. It's going to help you become the better version of a communicator. But first you got to learn it. Like, you know, if you think about a movie, I've had the pleasure of actually being on movie sets. I was on the set, Cars movie back in the day. And so you could see them. I had a rice rocket. I don't know if you know about that, Cody. I used to have a rice rocket, really famous one back in the day. And we're on the set, and there's all these actors. I don't remember who it was. And the director says, cut. And then they come back and they listen. And I'll just like listen into what they're saying because I was always curious. And he goes, hey, I really like the way you changed that little bit there. Same message, just a few more words. And sometimes they do like 30, 40, 50, 60, 80 takes before they wrap up. Like, it could be 30 seconds and they just redo it, reset, reset. It's insane, right? That's why movies come out good. It's the same thing here with our scripting. And I don't want to take up any more time, but you guys, when you're utilizing the script, remember it's a framework. Once you memorize it and you internalize it and you understand why you're saying what you're saying, the human psychology portion of it, or why your trainer told you to put it like this. Now, there's a lot of shitty scripts out there. By all means, be careful what you use, because you can run fast the wrong way. But if you understand why they put what they put in there, it fundamentally changes how you communicate, and it allows you to interject humor throughout the conversation. So I can interject humor, or I can actually pull that back and be the hard-nosed guy, but it's because I understand why I am saying what I'm saying. So anyways, man, yeah. Should we jam?
Yeah.
Am I doing the introduction today, or are you doing the introduction today? Oh, okay, cool. So I'm actually really excited about our guest today. She is, I would say, like, I don't know her, but I would say she's got a little bit of that, but the immigration edge, right? That kind of, I didn't grow up in America, and I'm going to fight for what it's like. I'm going to fight to get what I know I can do. She studied in Spain. She then went to France and did some cool stuff. 2012, so like 10, 11 years ago, she packed up her life, moved out to Chicago. She probably didn't read about the winters in Chicago, although she might have moved there, but she moved out to Chicago, and now she's crushing it. In the last year, she's done almost 60 deals with just one other agent and her, like one other support person and agent, no admin, nothing. And she's crushing it. And she's going to drop some bombs today. So Ainhoa Garcia from Chicago, welcome to the RE Agent Podcast. We are super excited to hear a little bit about you. You want to give us like a little 30-second like cliff notes, Cody? Cliff notes. You want to give me little cliff notes about you, and then we'll jump into some goods.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Cody and Vikram, for having me here. I would just say pretty much what you said. I am an immigrant, and I've heard this from Gary Vee before. I wish everyone was an immigrant, because there's not plan B. This is it. This is the plan A. And I didn't have a couch to crash on if I didn't make it. So this was the only choice. So I put everything, and I still do every single day, everything that I got. And this is my life. Real estate is my life. My family, it's everything that I do. We're passionate for minorities and advancing home ownership and this group of minorities, and very educational approach. That's what we do, and we truly care. So our business, even though I didn't have a sphere of influence here, my business comes 89% from referrals. So it's been a lot of hard work.
Go ahead, Vic. Yeah, you not only have you shown up here with no sphere of influence, and I can relate to that because I moved from California to Seattle and had to do the same thing. But now you're the president of the National Association of Hispanic Realtors in Chicago, and you're part of the YPN board?
That is correct.
So
Yeah, go ahead.
No. So you've really interjected yourself deep into the space, and you really are promoting home ownership for your community.
Correct. And that's where the passion comes from, but also understanding that this is a business of relationship, not just with our clients and with those potential people that they might hire or ask for our services, but also to really collaborate with many people from the industry. So we do need to build those relationships, and I understood that early enough. And I got involved in many organizations, and that's grown my sphere. And also some of the referrals that we get, even agent to agent, because we serve in a specific area too. So we are the referral source for them.
So it's really cool that you're part of NAREP, and Vic and I had the opportunity to speak at a NAREP event last year in Miami with our good friends Mike and Judy. And one of the stats that absolutely floored me, and something that like me and Vic have chatted a lot about because we spent a lot of time in Latin America over the last year, is that they're estimating over the course of the next 20 years that 70% of first-time homebuyers are going to be Hispanic. So I'm curious, like, to know, like, locally in your area, are you seeing that like now happen? Are you seeing a lot of like Spanish-speaking buyers that you're able to serve? What is the, because you see it from the board level, but you also see it from from the local level. Like, maybe walk us through a little bit of like the client flow that's coming through. Are you seeing that's even a small portion of the clients that you're working with?
So very good question and very accurate stats. So we have something called the Wealth Report that comes out every year in March, and nationwide, first-time home owners in total volume sold in 2022 was 48.2% was Hispanic. So some of those people do not speak Spanish because they are millennials born or brought as children, and their first language is English. But their parents and their family members, that they're also part of the purchasing experience because it's very family orientated, they do speak the language. So I do have the pleasure of being able to, or the privilege to speak different languages, and I'm able to communicate with them. But the majority of my clients at this time, they are Hispanic. Either their parents brought them, or they have come as immigrant as well themselves. But we communicate a lot in English too, because they are second generation or first generations. Even though they are Hispanic, they have the culture, but some of them have lost a little bit the language or the fluency on the language for this style process. So, but yeah, I absolutely see that. I would even say in the 80%, that's what we are projecting in the next 10 years. So, I mean, we're almost 50% of the purchases and sales were Hispanic last year. That's a huge number for a minority.
So for agents out there that target first-time buyers, now, let me ask you first this question. Are your buyers that you're working with, are they first-time buyers, or are they step-up buyers or step-down buyers normally?
So this is kind of like what's happening in the business, in my business. I started about 6 years ago, and my clients were first-time. Now, those first-time home buyers are now investors. They're doing that second or third purchase, or they're selling the first home and buying a larger home to afford better, or they outgrown the home. So because my business is referral-based mainly, I have a little bit of everything, even area-wise, because of the nature of the source where they're coming from. But a lot of first-time home buyers are now on the younger side. We have a lot, especially Hispanic. We have usually nationwide, the number we're looking at the ideal first-time home buyers, 35 nationwide. On the Hispanic side is 27 years old. So they're a little bit younger, already going into purchases. And I do serve a lot of first-time home buyers, but they repeat.
I want to get your perspective. On relationship marketing, or your perspective on referral, because I think you're the average agent that says I built my business on referrals, they don't have a predictable business. Now,
doing 60 transactions a year.
yeah, they're not doing 60 transactions a year. Like the people that generally are saying, yeah, my business is a referral, they're doing like one deal a month, if that.
Yeah.
And they go through laws. So what I'm curious to understand is your strategic process towards generating those 60 deals a year. And like, even the fact that you know the numbers and are on the board and you're getting like, you know, the fact that you knew 48% of, I didn't know that, 48% of transactions being done this year or 2022 were Hispanic, which is like literally half the transactions. Like a lot of these teams, like, and we chat with teams consistently that, you know, obviously want to scale at their team. And I keep saying to them, I'm like, you need to have people that are, you know, Hispanic or Spanish speaking on your team in order to grow it. If 50% of the transactions out there, you're just giving me stats to kind of throw around our call center even more. But I want to know strategically what you consider referral business and what you consider referral marketing. Because you're super savvy even with the stats. I'm curious to know how you fostered that. Like, what have you done strategically in order to foster 60 transactions last year?
So out of the 60 transactions, we could say that how almost 50 of them were referrals. It's a large number. Now, we do a few things. We do have farming, but the farming is a little bit targeted to those referrals as well. We're tapping on our sphere, tapping on our especially past clients and current clients. We don't necessarily ask directly for a referral in the face, like, hey, I need you to tell me every single person that you know. However, we're very educational. I mentioned this before, right? We really want you to know data. We really get to know who you are. And then we storytell a lot. So we share in our social media, we share on a newsletter, we send videos, text messages to other people sharing the story of this person that came to this country with absolutely nothing, and now they own a multi-unit and they are living rent-free. So that's just an example, and that creates momentum. But we don't just do it once. We're very, very consistent. So we share the story with our clients, and then the reviews, we share the reviews. And we do ask, like, softly throughout the transaction, if they know someone that is looking to buy wholesale throughout it. And then on the very happy moment of the clear to close, we do ask for a referral, again, softly. And also, we do a lot of events for our clients. We don't invest a lot of money in marketing, per se, to create leads. We do not buy zero lead, with all due respect to those who do, because that's also part of business. At some point, we might integrate some of that, but as of right now, we put our money, our dollars, mainly in our past. We're present in Thursdays physically at least once a month, other than calls and everything. But physically means, for example, March, St. Patty's. They will get a little lotto ticket to their home is $1, the lotto ticket. We send it to all of our VIP. VIP to us, VIP, we have a different VIPs, but VIP referral source, it's those who do receive that one small piece that says, hey, I was so lucky to have you as a client. I just want to share with you a little sparkle of my, whatever sentence you want to use, whatever script, especially with you guys being trainers, whatever script you have, make it your own. I heard what you were saying before about scripting. It's great to script, but to make it genuine, who you are, it's really the key. It takes time, and it's not just, hey, let's joke around. We have to give value. We have to be that knowledgeable and trusted resource to these people, right? So always providing some sort of value, but also being present as who we are. And we are people that we really care and we want to be present. So we send that. April, it's Earth Day. So we send a little plant from Amazon, little package that's paper, but if you put it in water, then it's a seed. And then we say, you plant and you create seeds and you get results. A sentence that it's kind of catchy, but it's something that they receive in their mail. So, and that's just something physical. We also have calls, we have text messages. They receive in their home anniversary, not just first year, every single year, they receive a notice, a card, a letter, an email Obviously, we use our CRM as we continue to grow, serve already almost 300 families. We need to make sure that we have a system in place, but we do send something that they can touch. And with that, we are in their front loop. So they think of us, if any person is talking real estate, they think. And the last thing I would share, as far as events go, we had this past Sunday, and actually I got it here because I thought you were going to ask about that. So these are referrals from last Sunday, and is pretty much saying the name of the person. I will tap a little bit there.
Yeah, you don't have to put it up there.
We have client appreciation events. We do it every year. It's growing a lot, and we had almost 200 guests this it's a summer picnic at the Forest Preserve. We have food, we have ice creams, we have, you name it, games, and then we have big prizes. So there was a big raffle, and these were the entries. In order for them to participate on that giveaway, they had to let us know as many entries as they wanted to participate, to have a chance to win that big. And that's something that we do, and then we send them the link with photos from the event, and we promote that event the weeks before and the weeks after. So for almost 2 months, people are seeing everywhere that we care so much and we do so much for our clients. So that referral strategy is with our client, but then we storytell. So that creates also almost a sense of trust in those followers, those people that they see our posts. They feel like they want to be part of it. So they reach out. It's a different type of, it's technically social media marketing, but it is in a way brought by when we do that.
So I want to change gears, because I would assume that, and I haven't looked at the stats recently, I missed our monthly meeting, but I would assume that our demographic is still very non-Hispanic agents, right? And for those agents out there, I think understanding the Hispanic culture, the ethnic culture, is very important. If you understand that ethnic cultures, right, like they are very family oriented, especially people coming from other parts of the world. Like, we're in Colombia, we see it firsthand. It takes a full family, the kids supporting mom, dad, grandma, the grandma supporting the kids by watching the kids. It's a very organic village in each house.
Yeah.
And you don't have the like, oh, this is my house. No. That doesn't exist. It's like your brother needs a place to stay, that you take a room. There's no asking for permission. It's just inherently ingrained in our culture. Like, even in being Indian, it's grandma lived with us our whole life. Yeah. Mom needs, somebody's coming from out of country. Here, stay with us for a month. I'm like, Dad, what are you doing? They smell, get them out of the house. Like, why are they here? And Dad's like, no. That's how we roll. Okay, fine. Mom's always got like a freezer stocked with frozen food that she could throw in a pan, heat up, and in 15 minutes, there's like a 5-course meal. That's just how we roll, right? That's just how it is. For those agents out there that are now realizing, oh my God, this is 50, like, we want to add a huge chunk of business. Maybe they don't speak the language, but maybe you could drop a couple of nuggets about the Hispanic culture and the environment at the home, because you're talking about a difference in age of 8 years. So if you pick up a Hispanic buyer and you nurture them, they could buy 2 or 3 homes by the time an average American is buying their first home.
Yeah.
And so, like, talk a little bit about, like, I'd like for you to touch on 2 things. One is a little bit about the culture. Like, what should a gringo know about the culture? And then 2, how do we pool finances?
Okay. So the first question, culture. For that, you have to start by being very open-minded and welcoming that is type of atmosphere. It has to come from you, having that curiosity to get to know who these people are and what it is that they do. As you said, family is very important. Also music, also food, also job opportunities and big dream. So this is part of the conversations that you're interested, if you're curious, be a good listener. Be a good listener. We spend a great amount of time with our clients. We meet with them in person. And side note, and I will continue responding to this first question, it's a good percentage of our business, but we do serve all type of business too. We're pretty chameleonic, if that makes any sense. But I'm part of a mastermind group with other agents in the city, top producers as well, that they really don't serve the Hispanic community. Maybe they have a client or two per year, not necessarily that. But, and I met with them like this week, Wednesday, in fact, and we were talking about this. Some of them no longer meet their clients in person. They have the habit of doing Zoom or a call, and then, or especially if it's a Zillow lead and whatnot, they meet first at the property, and then they kind of have a conversation about the home buying process. What? Yes.
That's crazy.
The Hispanic community, they are a lot more hand-holding. And things will change over time as we get better educated and we have better resources, and then it's generational wealth. But to get them started, we have to do a lot of we have to hear their emotions. We have to be there for them and their frustrations. Some of these families, they need 4 borrowers, which is kind of like on your second question for finances. They need 4 people to co-sign in order to buy that family home. You said it right. It's our house. So to buy our house, we need a daughter, a cousin, the grandma, and the dad that's working. One of them is I-10.
Are you seeing, sorry to interrupt, but are you seeing multi-generational, like, the 27-year-old still kind of like in the parent's eyes, still kind of the kid? Do you, and they pool their money together. Are they all living together then? Or are they, like grandma pitches in 10 grand and cousin pitches in 10 grand because cousin's 30 years old and 32, they had a little bit of extra money saved. Like how, like, because it's different in the American culture.
It is.
So like, it's kind of a culture shock for the American culture to be like, whoa, why would you guys do that? Right? Like, that's so crazy. Just get apartments and, but are you seeing that in your first time buyers or even your second buyers? Like,
yes. So Chicago is a very Hispanic city.
It's also very expensive.
It's very expensive. And we have the largest county in the country. It's 45 million for the 1,000 of Hispanic. So we have a whole lot of those families that they get together to purchase home. How do they do this? Don't mix or our audience. They do have money. It's just that a lot of money is under the bed. So under the bed means saving for years, but they believe, I'm Hispanic too, but from Spain, and it's a little bit different. We keep a lot of the money at home because we didn't believe in banks, or it's a little bit different, the culture. So they do have at times a lot of cash, including to buy cash in full, like the full price of the property. But then when they have to finance, they might work half time on W-2 and then additional hours in cash or under. So that's what you have to really be very creative. And that's when everybody kind of comes in and said, okay, you have this employment, you have this credit score, and you have these savings. Okay, let's make it all together because you need asset credit and job history to do regular financing. So that's how they get together. And sometimes they do live together. That's also why we have a lot of multi-unit because they live in one floor, mommy lives on the other one, and then another family member lives in the basement. And if not, Chicago is also famous with bungalows. We have brick bungalows, and they have nice basements. So that's how they get together. They buy, but then the older kids or the teenagers or older, they will live separately. They will have a kitchenette, or they will have an area where they will take the basement and live there for a little while until they go and they buy themselves. But a lot of children, by children I mean, each purchasing is 27 years old, they help their parents buy their home because we have seen those parents, single moms, single dads, 3 jobs at a time, coming home to then make tamales and going to the street and selling them at 4 a.m. before people go to work, and then they go to the next job. So seeing the sacrifice that their parents and grandparents have made, and they understand that they have the privilege to have been born in this country, to have a social security number, and that they can now give back in a way to their parents. And then very much also comes together with that family.
I see firsthand how underserved the Spanish-speaking population is in the U.S. by realtors, and it's really crazy because like I see it firsthand in the sense of like we'll try to transfer someone like we're like, do you take Spanish speakers? They're like, well, no, we don't. We don't have anyone on our team who can serve this person. Well, do you have a referral partner of somebody who can serve this person at a high level. It's like, well, we don't have anyone. So I want to shift gears a little bit here to speak to the agent in another market because like, it sounds like you've built your business also off of you mentioned in your forum prior to, and we were chatting about agent to agent referrals. How can a Spanish speaking agent be the go-to person for maybe a team that like doesn't necessarily have the resources that they need in order to serve a Spanish speaking population or a Hispanic family at a high level? Because not every agent is, number one, willing, and not every agent is, number two, able to actually serve them at a high level and understand the different resources. So how can somebody that might understand the culture, because there are Hispanics, there are Spanish speaking realtors out there that I'm always surprised whenever I say, like, do you market to, you speak Spanish, do you market to the Hispanic population? They're like, no. So like it even today seems super taboo to even like for some of these realtors that come from Latin America to even serve the Hispanics. Like, what do you do? And like, what do you do locally in order to connect with other agents that might be able to give you agent to agent referrals so that you can not only grow your business, but also serve a population that I personally believe is underserved?
It is, in fact, underserved and a lot of times taken advantage of. So it goes back to what I said initially when we started the conversation. This is a business of relationship, as genuine as possible. So how do you get in touch with a great agent that speaks Spanish? Well, NAREP, National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals. If you are looking to, and this is just a Hispanic, also tap on Chinese population that they're also underserved at times. In Chicago, we have a huge Chinatown and a lot of money involved. And there are like 2-3 agents that served it, even though other agents do speak the language. So you connect with that organization that has members, realtors members, that they have the resources. So now, very easy to find online. We do have a platform where you can literally say, hey, I'm looking for an agent since we are in Chicago, Illinois, that speaks Spanish and willing to participate or to collaborate with a referral fee. Perfect. Who do you know? Perfect. In that group, we talk. Now, from somebody completely outside and they don't know about this organization, I would say it's extremely important that you know what your local organizations, local and national. And if you're willing to serve or interested in serving that community, go to where they hang out, go to where they talk, and join their events. We have quarterly events. We have national events. NARP is not a small organization. I mean, it's humongous.
That's
as you know, you've been in Miami. This year, actually,
we were to the national event.
Yeah, we were at Latitude last year as well. Yeah, so like we're very familiar, and we were blown away at Latitude. Yeah.
So then I will see you this year in Miami. This year, Latitude is going to be Miami, September 27th. So mark your calendars. And but you have to go where they are to meet them. I do a lot of referrals too, agent to agent, also other states. We close about 2 to 3 transactions a year. That's not count obviously on our MLS in our sales because it's not closed by us, but we do get paid for it. We get a referral fee. And this is because we went to a national convention, connected with like-minded individuals, share our contact information. Now we are the go-to for that person in Austin. And they come, and when they send clients back and forth, especially after COVID, everybody moving around and working remotely and all that. So it's a great opportunity to do agent to agent. Also, this is the last tip I will say on that, it's taking the time also to interview and to set the right expectations when you're sending someone or receiving inbound or outbound, that you want them that treatment. And if they don't really know, give them some tips.
Before we wrap up, I think this is something super, super overlooked by the American realtor that doesn't serve an ethnic population. I was blessed that I was dropped into Seattle, Bellevue, very large Indian, very large Chinese, very loyal if you take care of them. And when you break into that circle, like I would get messages from Microsoft employees, like top tier Microsoft people. I had no way of reaching back in the day when I started. And they said, oh, you were reviewed and referred to in our internal system by 3 different people because of your outstanding processes, services, and ability to negotiate. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, this has got to be a scam. The guy's like, no, we have like an internal referral board inside. I'm like, really? That's cool. And like, they started laughing. They're like, you have no idea what we're talking about. I'm like, no. How loyal, if you take care of the Hispanic market, how loyal is that population?
It's exactly how you describe it. And they will not go anywhere for life. And you're just not, but you have to keep these three. One, you have to bring knowledge and stay on top of anything that's happening in the market. Knowledge, honest work, and consistency, being available for them when they need to, and staying very, very consistent with what you say you're going to do, keep you. So you do that, you have their best interests at heart. They know they will send you everybody that they have, and they will post about it and they will brag about it. It's beautiful.
And is home, sorry, last question. Maybe not, but for a Hispanic person to purchase a home in the United States, would you consider that a big accomplishment for them?
Not just an accomplishment. It's a sense of belonging to a country. Is their roots, is their retirement plan, is their college fund for their children, is absolutely everything. Because if there is another thing that's happening in that community, in our community, is that we don't have a lot of the financial literacy. We don't further education to know about, you need to have a trust, you need to have a will, you need to have life insurance, you need to have stocks, you can invest in this, you can invest in So actually a home to them, to us, is all of them, all of those things, because it's what they can tap on if anything happens.
Yeah. If I could say something to you guys listening in the audience, reach out to her, like reach out and ask her, because serving a population like this is one, it's, oh my God, it's so rewarding. Like I remember when my clients would come from India and they bought their first house and they would introduce me to like everybody. And they're like, no, Vikram, you have to come to our party. I'm like, guys, I don't, it's not my jam. Like I'll send my team. No, you have to be, I'll send the team. Like I'll hang out with you one-on-one. I don't do the whole party thing. I'm an alcoholic. I like to drink and get really, really wasted. Like I like to have a lot of fun, and I don't know that's the best. Like, no, Vic, you have to come. I'm like, there's no alcohol. It's gonna be so boring. They're like, no, Vic, you have to come. I'm like, there's no meat there. No, Vic, you have to come. I'm like, all right, I show up, and you walk in, and the music stops, and it's like they roll out the red carpet. This guy helped me with my dream, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to every single party. The amount of satisfaction, like it's gonna make me cry. Like the amount of satisfaction you get. So I just want to stress, like, if you guys think that the ethnic market is hard to tap into because of the language barrier or culture barrier, travel to Latin America. It's not that far. Get engrossed in the neighborhoods, learn a little bit about the culture. It will not only pay dividends to your bank account, but it'll pay dividends to your heart account, because you will be put up there like they consider their doctors. And anybody that's in a like undereducated environment, when they come here, doctors are like the cream of the crop. You cannot say anything bad about them. You will be right up there with them. So I will encourage you to go after.
I agree 100,000%. You're God to them. God. You changed their life. You have helped them change their life and the life of their children. And they don't forget. Yeah.
I know. I really enjoyed this conversation. This was a really cool conversation. I didn't know it was going to go this way, but
me neither.
I'm super glad that Cody brought up the stat from NARA. And this was really cool. Like, thank you so much for being here. Cody, you want to take it away? Because I'm in this group.
Just where's the best place we can send anyone to chat with you if they, where's the best, if somebody wants to reach out, maybe it's an agent-to-agent referral, maybe they want to have a conversation with you about serving the Hispanic population at a high level, or just serving an underserved community at a high level, where's the best place that we can send them to reach out to you?
Well, I'll leave in my social media. So let's do Instagram. I have a website and everything. You can find that on Instagram too, the link tree. So let's do Ainhoa Realtor, which is AINHOA Realtor. And that's it. You find me, Ainhoa Garcia. And
hey, I really appreciate it today. I really appreciate you just showing up and just sharing so much wisdom in the market.
Scotty, before we jump off, I would like to offer Cody and we did a 5-day challenge. I would like to offer the recording to, since you're the president, if you think it'd be valuable and but I'd like to offer some either like live training for you guys, or we can ship out the 5-day lead and conversion thing as well. It was really like Cody crushed it on marketing, and I did a halfway decent job on not too much.
You did great as well.
But we would love to support you in your journey to help with anything that we can.
Thank you. I would take that. I would take it. And we do have a lot of educational events where we educate our members. So, and our members, NARIP doesn't serve the community directly or the consumer directly. It's through those industry leaders that exactly. So educating the industry leaders is all I'm all about. So they can spread this care. So yeah, I would take that for sure. Send it over and I will make sure that it's received with all of our members.
I know I want to say thank you so much for joining us today. And I want to say thank you for tuning into another episode of the RE Agent Podcast. We'll see you soon.